Hey everybody, welcome into Going Public. I am Harry McCullough. We're joined today by the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Mr. Gordon Dove, and the councilman out of District 9, Steve Trosclair. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here. You're going to update us on what's going on for infrastructure and a lot of different things. You've got a nice presentation. So where are we starting? We're starting with the Bubba Dove floodgate, right?
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you,
Aaron. Yes, about 8 years ago, part of the money from the Restore Act, which was the BP fine, I was on CPRA. Jerome Zerang was executive director. Norby Jabez was on CPRA. We had managed to get $450 million towards a lock system on the HNC. The Bubba Dove was already being built at the time, the floodgate portion.
Right.
So we since then we recently started, about a year ago, we started the dredging and the surface prep for the lock system, which is $360 million. It's going to be built at a plus 22.
So you ready to go to slides?
Yes. If you could get the slide, it's on the H&C. There you go. See, to the left is the Bubba Dove. That's existing. We're adding a lock system. It's 110 foot between the receiving walls. It's 800 foot long. This allows vessels to come and go even though they have a south wind, but it stops salt water from going north in the Terrebonne Parish. So it's an environmental structure. This was started 8 years ago. The levee board is handling the construction along with CPRA, and it's $360 million. It's going to be built to a plus 22. And it allowed navigation to come and go. See, right now, if there's a hurricane, we cannot shut the Bubba Dove gate unless there's a named hurricane. Right. Other than that, if there's just a south wind, you can't close it.
Which lets all that salt water in.
Right. So this is a great project, and it's under construction. So, and in the next one, go ahead, Steve.
It's just the BAYOU Terrebonne lock pump station. At the locks, we got $5 million appropriated CDBG money to put a pump station at the locks, which would pump actually outside of the levee system. So it'll be one of the few pumps on the south side of the parish that actually pumps outside of the levee system.
And this is presently being engineered. The engineer started a few months ago. We did receive we've been awarded $5 million to go ahead and build it. It's a 500 CFS, and this will pump BAYOU Terrebonne all the way back to the intercoastal.
I got you.
And this is at the lock system, like Steve just said, below Montague, where we built that lock system for $10 million, which is completed. And there's an artist rendition of it.
So this will be what you see on the left. There is that pump.
Right,
the pump
correct.
station.
Right.
That's correct. And that will be installed. And then if you go the miter gates, that's the twin span. So we're going to come back and put miter gates right here at the twin
That's
span.
on BAYOU Terrebonne, right?
BAYOU Terrebonne with a 56-foot opening.
Right.
And this will allow us to close off BAYOU Terrebonne in order to pump it down. You can't pump it down if it's left open to the intercoastal, of course. And that is another one, Steve, that works in conjunction with it.
This one's being in conjunction with the company CANAL Mitigate. And this one's
which is the next one. Next slide.
The next slide.
There you go.
Yeah. And so these two are going to work pretty much to isolate the east side of Terrebonne Parish, totally enclosed in the levee system. And the BAYOU Terrebonne pump station that we just mentioned is going to be able to control the water levels in BAYOU Terrebonne. So everything on the east side of Terrebonne Parish will be totally enclosed and inside, inside levees and locks and floodgates.
And then being able to pump it out.
And under force pump.
And under force pump.
Right. And pump it down before a storm and pump it
And
as
the
you
pumps will be, like I said, this pump will actually pump outside of the system.
need. Right.
So
Right. And of course, Steve represents Berg, Montague,
Right.
and Prescott Isle and all that area, all the way up
So
to
this will help all of those people.
Prospect Street. And what this will do is the same thing we did in Petite Caillou. We added a conveyance channel and a pump station to make that system a forced pump. Because we built a lock system, and we had a gate up towards Woodlawn Ranch Road. So that is totally under pump now. And then now we're moving. Me and Steve's been working on moving BAYOU Terrebonne on the total pump.
So you always go east to west when you start doing these projects?
Well, Petite Caillou was easy to do because you already had a floodgate already built. That's over by Woodlawn. So it was easy to just put one pump station there and use under pump.
Right.
Here you have to build 2 miter gates, which each miter gate's about $10 million. So it's $20 million. So that's the only reason it was done like that. And then, you know, the location on Company Canal is going to vary. You know, we haven't picked the exact location. The engineers are working on that, and we're going to move forward with it.
Okay. So we'll move to some road projects.
Yes.
And we look to a new VALHI extension. This is a proposed VALHI extension.
Right.
And this would be out there by Fletcher. You'd go that far?
Well, yeah, okay. The VALHI extension at 311, okay, this is where Rouse's Drive is in Fletcher, you know. Now, where's it? It's going to go from here, 311, and it could go back under 90 and go all the way to Savannah Road and follow the woods along there.
All right.
We got 2 points, thanks to our delegation. Jerome was just on your show, and at Tanner McGee and Brett Elaine and the rest of the delegation. We did receive $2.6 million to start the engineering on this. So we will have a complete road from VALHI, from 311 and Rouse's Drive, which is right near Fletcher, all the way back to Savannah Road. So we're starting the engineering. We still have a ways to go. And so we did get that monies, and it's going to tie into VALHI and go all the way back to
So VALHI
St.
would
Charles.
make a little loop, right? It would come from
correct.
VALHI and then make a loop and end up right there by Fletcher, in between Fletcher and, well, like say, I know that's Rouse's, but that's K&B Machine, all of
Yes,
that area back
yes.
there, right? So
Yes.
so it'll make a loop eventually.
And then you get back on 311, take a right, and then get on 90 to Morgan City or New
Right,
Orleans.
perfect, yeah.
Because if we go ahead and build on ramps, it's another $28 million. But it makes sense just to go to here, and you can go the direction you want. So you'll actually go from the Civic Center Boulevard, basically by the Civic Center,
Right.
and shoot straight across all the way out to Fletcher.
Oh, that'd be great.
And so this is, the state is funding the $2.6 million. So that means this project will move forward.
So as you come to the end of VALHI right now and you end up hitting Savannah Road, you can see there's already a right-of-way right there.
Right,
so
with some
that road
power.
would continue along that power line and go under there and then make a turn and end up back at 311.
Yeah, because we just put a pump station back there to help South Ellendale.
Right.
And we put pump stations along VALHI.
Yeah.
Now the next one is Little Bar Black.
That aerial view, yeah. There we go.
There's an aerial view. This is what it affects. In other words, when the intercoastal's high, it backs up 311. Nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is doing, we're putting a pump station right around the library, okay? And maybe a little further, they still looking at the location.
Right.
And it's a statewide flood money of $5 million, and it was awarded to T. Baker Smith, and it actually is being awarded tonight to T. Baker Smith, and they are going to start the design and engineering of a pump station.
That's the one in Bayou Black and Barrow at
Yes.
at 311.
Yeah, and that's some
By
similar.
Chauvin Funeral Home.
It's
and
going to be a pump similar to what we did over by Sugarwood on the other side of West Side, where we built that pump station
Right.
on 311. And then the next picture will show it, see, it's the location, pump stations. You can see the library right there.
I see.
And so, but the location exactly may vary. It will be electric pumps, so it won't be noisy. They're very quiet.
Right.
And so that project is moving forward. As of actually, this council is going to ratify the appointment of T. Baker Smith tonight on that.
So,
Okay.
yeah, you got plenty going in that proposed site right there. And again, as you can see, the library, that would be a good area. Now, what is that? That's gonna draw down, again, another pump site that'll draw down Little
Yes,
Bayou Black.
it'll draw down all the way back to the pump station over there on the north side of west side, and it'll drain everything from Sugar Mill, Southdown, all along that corridor right at St. Charles, and all that'll drain there, and it'll force pump it into the intercoastal, well, into the Little Bayou Black, which goes to the intercoastal.
Sure.
And they'll have a 20-foot radial gate so they can leave it open if it's flowing on its own gravity. But if the intercoastal backs up, you close it and you go on the force pump.
Yeah. So yeah, these are all things that y'all have learned through experience of how water has been going and where you need pumps. And the system has been working great. I know y'all really have done a great job with that. I know we've saved a lot of money over the last couple of years with some of these storms. Now, Ida, of course, was a different beast altogether, particularly where the wind came.
But it went water.
Right, exactly.
Right, so-
it was going the other way. So yeah.
So we're doing a pump station down below Montague, which is GIS Engineering.
Right.
And this one on Bayou Black is T. Baker Smith.
All right. Well, we'll take a break. We'll talk about those when we come back right here on Going Public.
A new company with a lot of history. GIS Engineering has rapidly grown its brand around an experienced team of professionals. GIS Engineering is a full-service planning, engineering, procurement, and construction management company specializing in coastal protection and restoration, upstream and downstream industrial, and transportation infrastructure projects. Putting people first, GIS Engineering, a new company with a lot of history.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South's Ambulatory Surgery Center offers patients advanced and innovative outpatient procedures using the latest technology and treatment options. The first of its kind in the region, this center provides our patients and their families with high-quality care in a convenient, comfortable, and safe environment at a lower cost. Trust your care to the cardiovascular care team you know and love at CIS. Learn more at cardio.com.
Pelican Waste and Debris is your local company. We don't just work here, we live here and understand the unique challenges that face our region. Our commitment to our community and customers and love for Louisiana keeps us motivated. Pelican meets every residential and commercial service need, offering roll-off, front-load, and compactor services, ideal for hotels, restaurants, apartments, construction or industrial sites, and much more. We also make recycling simple and cost-efficient, offering single-stream recycling program options. We have set the highest standards for environmental protection, community engagement, and guaranteed client satisfaction. Visit pelicanwaste.net or call us at 985-873-9553 to save money with hassle-free service. Our team has over 100 years of experience, so we know how to make you happy. The sky is the limit, so fly with the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Alford, your host for To Your Health with Terrebonne General Health System. Our weekly show provides the latest in healthcare specialties only offered by Terrebonne General. Join us each Wednesday at 7 p.m. to stay up to date with the latest innovations in health. Terrebonne General provides healthcare breakthroughs in cardiology, cancer care, women's health, health and wellness, and much more. You don't want to miss our next To Your Health. See you then.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Going Public. This is Harry McCullough. We're talking today with Gordon Dove, of course, the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, and Parish Council District 9, Steve Trosclair. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being with us. We wanted to talk a little bit about Terrebonne Ridge and a marsh section there that you got $162 million.
Yeah, Terry, we got $162 million. It's called, the project is the Terrebonne Basin Ridge and Marsh Creation Project and by Terrebonne. It's a project that they're gonna actually dredge material from Bayou Terrebonne, which desperately needs to be dredged. It's in the lower Bayou Terrebonne. It'll affect probably close to about 10 miles. The project could be about 10 miles of earthen ridge that they're gonna build up and restore approximately 5,000 acres of ridge, which is going to be good for water intrusion and rise, and marsh habitat in the Terrebonne Basin. You know, it's $162 million that we got, and you know, Bayou Terrebonne, if you're not familiar with Bayou Terrebonne, the lower edges of Bayou Terrebonne are so shallow you can't hardly get down there with the small outboard.
Right.
So it's going to do two things. It's going to make the Bayou Terrebonne more navigable, and also it's going to be building up marsh, create more. So
Get more
I'm
water
excited.
flow down there. Right?
And no, our delegation got $162 million for this, so it's well needed.
Steve, where would it's going to start? Were you talking about lower Terrebonne, Bayou Terrebonne? Where does that start?
My understanding is it's going to start somewhere around the Madison area and go south, probably towards Seabreeze.
Right.
You know, in that area.
And that's only a couple of feet deep, maybe at that point.
Well, it's you know. It varies, but
Right.
once you get to the lower end of Bayou Terrebonne, the very lower end around Seabreeze, it's very shallow.
So yeah, it'd be nice to have a ridge there too,
Yeah,
and
right.
obviously, that'll be a good improvement, and real nice grant.
And
with
that project
162.
was put in 9 years ago. It is BP money, Restore Act money that was gotten when we had gotten about $1 billion worth of projects back then. And it took this long to come to fruition. And the state is handling it, and it is through CPRA, but it is going to bid in a couple of months. So
Okay.
huge project, $162 million, and the east side of Terrebonne needs it.
Oh yeah,
But
no,
we all need it all over, but the east side especially.
absolutely. All right, let's talk about something that affects all of us here. You got the Houma generating plant that is on Barrow Street and 311. Obviously damaged during the storm. Right now, you don't have a way to generate power. We're buying power right now.
Right. Well, you can see the cooling towers and the cooling system, and the plant was just totally devastated. It's not feasible to repair it because it's a 60-year-old plant, generating plant that needs to be replaced. This is our opportunity to go in and have FEMA pay for a new generating plant. It is the goal. Our goal is to engineer and build a 100 megawatt. That's an 80 megawatt.
This is an 80 megawatt. You want to
Megawatt.
replace it with a 100
100
megawatt.
And we went through federal. Everything has to go through federal procurement procedures.
Sure.
And Royal Engineering and GIS, and along with some other electrical engineering firms, were chosen through the federal procurement process and ratified through the council. So they're actually starting. You know, they're putting it together, and one of the reasons that we the other engineering firms is the consultant is CSRS and VNF Solutions, and so we have quite a few people working on it, and it's about $200 million because along with this, we're going to refurbish the grid system in the Houma power plant and the Houma facility, which has about 15,000 customers, which is controlled and operated by the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. And as you can see on the pictures, if they show a few of them, that's one of them. The next picture, you can see that's totally destroyed.
The
And
unit 15 and 16, what does that mean?
Unit-
The whole thing's out, right?
Unit 14, 15, and 16 has 3 turbine gas-powered generators on there. And all the mechanisms that cools them, you know, this is an old antiquated system.
Right.
That-
Built in 1960.
It's not
probably.
competitive, but see, the system was used to balance our system in Terrebonne. Now that's where we're getting into the potential of having brownouts, they call it, because we have to balance the system. So we're going in here, our group of engineers, we're looking at putting 3 10 megawatt portable generators in here. Now, these are big. When you say 10 megawatts,
megawatt, right.
they big. And that is so we can tie into our system. We have a 10-inch gas line in the vicinity. And if you look at the power plant off to the left of it, we're gonna put we're gonna put these 3 10 megawatt plants in there, and maybe 130 megawatt. It depends what we can find. And we're going to lease it until we get this plant back on.
So you have the ability to supplement power that right now you buy from
No, we always buy from MISO.
Right.
So does Entergy. No one buys from their own power plant anymore. They all sell the power
grid.
through what they call MISO, which is a 13-state grid system. And what we have to do is balance the system. It gets complicated, but anyway, and that's what this system did in the past.
Right.
Now, the one that was built that you've heard me complain about in Morgan City does us absolutely no good, okay? The $130 million.
we're paying 40% of that.
Yeah, the albatross over there, but it does St. Mary good. It's balancing their system, and we paying 40% of it, okay? But that's another day, okay? So with that, we have no choice but to go forward. The good thing is we should get a new power plant out of it. Federal government will pay for it. The bad thing is it's probably 3 years, 4 years to build one.
Right.
And
So you got these
meanwhile,
temporary,
this
maybe 30 megawatts or maybe 60 megawatts, depending on what you can rent.
what they're saying, 30 megawatts, 10 megawatts or 130 should balance the system.
I got you.
But remember, we have to go to FEMA because we have to rent this. It's very expensive to install it, and FEMA's going to pick up the tab. Right. And so that is about the biggest problem we have from the hurricane, besides housing, of course.
So we're expecting temperatures at 100 degrees Friday.
Yeah.
Are we going to be okay? Or
Yeah, we're okay right now. But we, as the season progresses on,
it's got to be a big strain.
if you get over what the generating capacity of what we normally do, you could have problems.
Right. And that's why I think that's also goes into why prices are a little higher than people are used to seeing, right?
And that's why we have numerous engineering firms. We're dealing with, FEMA, and we're dealing with GOSEF with the state, and we are expediting everything as much as humanly possible.
Right. I got you. So yeah, it's a hot summer for sure. So
Yeah,
as long as we don't get another storm like that.
And remember, the megawatt cost has gone from January to now. It's double and a half times with electricity because of the cost of natural gas.
Right.
And everyone's going to experience that. There's no stopping that.
Right. I think that's where I was getting to.
Yeah,
a lot of people, that's where everybody's talking
When you
about.
go look at your electric bill, it's going to be more.
Right.
And yet we have one of the cheapest in Louisiana, the way we run our system, but no one can control the price of gas, natural gas.
Natural gas. Right.
Right.
Okay. So let's move on now to Brady Road, and you got the bridge down there that's coming.
Yeah. Thanks to our delegation and, Jerome Zarang and Tana and Brett Lane and the rest of the delegation, we were able to get $11.4 million to finally build a bridge. It was awarded to Mitch Mormon, which is Delta Coast. And this will be a 2-lane bridge with a walkway across it, 15,000-pound capacity so we can get fire trucks to cross it. And it's about a 24-foot wide bridge. See, we were going to only build a 19-foot wide bridge until our delegation wouldn't get us our money. And look, my hat, I know I keep bragging on them, but they deserve to be bragged on. But anyway, so I know the people in Fisherman's Retreat at Brady Road, this is huge to them. This is going to happen. It's the money's done. It's signed. So we've got $11,400,000 to really build a hell of a bridge, and we're going to move forward with it. Also, we got money to build a 500 CFS pump station from Fargo Canal, but we actually moved the location of that further north. And the levee board had built a bridge further north from there, and we're going to put it right there. And Mitch Mormon, this was awarded to Mitch Mormon with Delta Coast, and he's going to be doing it. But we do have the money for this, $7,400,000. And again, thanks to our good old delegation, the boys came through. So with that,
a lot of stuff going on right now. The delegation will actually be on Wednesday's agenda at the council, and they're gonna be talking to you guys for that. I know we had talked about the wetlands discovery is gonna switch over to the Water Life Museum. They're going to start controlling that. That'll be good. That's all coming up this weekend for y'all at the council, right?
And the big thing down Steve's district, which is Montague, Bergen, all those miter gates, Steve's been pushing
Yeah.
that, and we're finally going to start moving forward on that and have that complete system under force pump. And Steve, that's been one of his
How long
projects.
all those projects do you think when they will be complete, where people will see relief?
3 years.
3 years. So
Yeah, we should be in 3 years. We should be totally locked in. The Bubba Dove should be close to completed or very close. The 2 miter gates. We're doing the pump. The pump now, right now, it's it's actually in the process of construction.
right.
For the pump station by Terrebonne. So it's we got a lot of good things coming, and I think we'll really be in good shape once the parish is totally closed in.
Yeah, you're right.
We get the pumps going.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. That is Going Public. We'll be right back. Right here on HTV.